Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns in a month. Tensions are high within the organization. Despite the good performance Shedeur Sanders had throughout the preseason, perhaps his only mistake was the last game against the Los Angeles Rams. It was only enough for him to become the Browns' third-string quarterback. The positive news is that he is on the team roster and will have to wait for his moment during the season. The Browns' starting quarterback, to no one's surprise, will be Joe Flacco, who was signed during free agency and will be starting his 18th NFL season. But at any moment, in case of a debacle, Dillon, Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders will be ready, hunting for an opportunity that will inevitably come. Joe Flacco already had experience in Kevin Stefanski's system after joining the team at the end of the 2023 season and performing well. In 5 games, the veteran posted a 4-1 record and secured a playoff spot. During that period, he also threw 13 touchdown passes. Former NFL player reveals that Shedeur Sanders will play in a month. Despite Joe Flacco's starting role, there are no guarantees that he will remain the Browns starter, especially because Kevin Stefanski needs to see what he has with his rookie quarterbacks. The next draft has a lot of quarterback talent, and Cleveland will have 2 first-round draft picks. On his podcast, former NFL player Channing Crowder made a prediction about the Browns' quarterback situation and believes that Shedeur Sanders will soon get his opportunity. When you watch all the clips of Shedeur Sanders, you see why his tape said he was a first-round QB. He plays with NFL timing and rhythm, reads with his feet, plays ahead of the defense, has more than enough arm strength, and he knows how to layer the ball. In 2 preseason games, Shedeur Sanders completed 17 of 29 passes for 152 yards, with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of 95.8. The big problem was the last preseason game against the Rams, where he was sacked 5 times. The Cleveland Browns have never been strangers to quarterback controversies. In fact, their franchise history is littered with the ghosts of QBs who came in with promise and left with their careers in tatters. But in 2025, the debate surrounding their quarterback room carries an entirely different weight, because this time, the future is named Shedeur Sanders, and in 1 month's time, he's expected to be the starter. The problem? The entire organization is on edge. Coaches, executives, veterans in the locker room, and even fans in the dog pound feel the ripples of tension. Sanders is not just a rookie quarterback. He's the son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, a star out of Colorado, a lightning rod for national attention, and the potential face of a franchise that has begged for stability at the most important position in sports. But handing him the keys this quickly has ignited battles both inside and outside the building. The Browns' quarterback carousel. Same song, different verse. Since returning to the NFL in 1999, the Browns have cycled through 36 starting quarterbacks. Every few years, Cleveland convinced itself it had found the guy, only to watch the hype collapse under pressure. Johnny Manziel, Brandon Weeden, Brady Quinn, Deshaun Kaiser. The list is as heartbreaking as it is long. The arrival of Deshaun Watson in 2022 was supposed to be the end of that cycle. The Browns mortgaged their future on Watson, giving him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract. But injuries, suspension fallout, inconsistency, and off-field baggage kept him from delivering on the investment. By 2024, it was clear the Browns needed to pivot. Enter Shedeur Sanders. Drafted in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Sanders brought the charisma, production, and star power Cleveland fans desperately craved. At Colorado, he had put up video game numbers despite playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in the Power 5. Scouts loved his poise, accuracy, and ability to extend plays without panicking. What they didn't know was how quickly he could adapt to the NFL's speed and brutality. Yet the Browns' coaching staff has seen enough in training camp and preseason to feel the time is near. The whispers became murmurs, the murmurs became chatter, and the chatter became confirmation. Barring injury or disaster, Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback within a month. Inside the locker room, divided loyalties. The Browns' locker room is a place of conflicting emotions. On one side are the veterans, players like Amari Cooper, Joel Bitonio, and Myles Garrett. They've been through the churn of failed experiments. They know the weight of expectation in Cleveland, and they worry about thrusting a rookie into the fire too soon. For them, stability matters more than hype. "Look, Shedeur is talented," one anonymous veteran reportedly told a local reporter. "But we've seen this story before. If you put too much on a rookie too soon, you risk breaking him before he's ready." On the other side are the younger players, many of whom grew up watching Deion Sanders highlights on YouTube and idolizing Shedeur's flashy but composed style at Colorado. For them, the idea of Shedeur taking over isn't frightening, it's exciting. They see him as their guy, a quarterback who isn't just managing the game but actively raising the ceiling of the offense. David Njoku, never shy with his words, summed up the optimism in a recent interview. "He's different. You can feel it. When Shedeur steps in the huddle, guys believe. That's not something you can teach. That's presence. That's leadership. And if we want to win big, he's going to be the one to take us there." But belief and reality are two different things. Kevin Stefanski's tightrope walk. No one is under more pressure than head coach Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski has built a reputation as a steady hand, cerebral, even-keeled, committed to his offensive system. But the system hasn't always thrived, especially with the quarterback inconsistencies. His job security has been tied to whether he can finally unlock the Browns' potential, and now the organization is asking him to shepherd a rookie with all eyes on him. Stefanski has been deliberately cautious in public statements. "We're evaluating everything day by day. Shedeur's development is our top priority, and we'll make decisions based on what gives the team the best chance to win." Behind closed doors, though, the timeline is less vague. Multiple sources suggest the Browns want Sanders under center by Week 5 at the latest. The reason? A brutal early stretch of the schedule against divisional opponents. If the Browns stumble early with a veteran like Joe Flacco or an unproven Dillon Gabriel at QB, it could tank their season before it begins. By inserting Shedeur, they hope to inject energy and keep the locker room united. But Stefanski knows the risks. If Shedeur flops early, critics will say he ruined the kid by rushing him. If Stefanski delays too long, he'll be accused of sabotaging the franchise's future. Either way, the blame falls squarely on his shoulders. The Watson factor, a $230 million shadow. One of the biggest reasons tensions are so high is the specter of Deshaun Watson. Though Watson's time in Cleveland has been marred by injuries and controversy, the organization cannot simply pretend his contract never existed. Ownership has been reluctant to outright cut ties, fearing the financial and reputational hit.